There's an interesting one. Giuseppe Morgante. Subject is McMahon leaving hurt AEW. Did Vince McMahon leaving wrestling destroy AEW's identity? I think I understand what really ails Tony Khan. They lost their big bad villain, Vince McMahon. Yes, Vince is now considered a genius, a visionary, both a creative and business success story. But to most wrestling fans throughout these past few decades, he was the Goliath to the other territories' David. In the 80s, leaving dead promotion in his wake and stealing their stars. And in the new millennium, he's passed his prime creatively and produced less than great shows. When AEW started, WWE was awful, and AEW was a true alternative, and Tony was the nice guy compared to Vince. But present day, WWE is a must-watch, and they do not have any Vince baggage. Thoughts? And that's Giuseppe Morgante. Bro, I think people are being way too critical of Vince McMahon's like I think they think that like the last few years of Vince McMahon was just like they make it sound like it's a disaster and like he's gone. They still produce some great television with this guy, bro. Yeah. Vince McMahon was in charge of creative when they started that Bloodline story, which is one of the better stories that we've seen in a very long time in professional wrestling. I just don't think. I think at the end, this is funny, you know. I think this fan base was very willing to give Vince McMahon criticism and not give him credit where it was due, and very willing to give Tony Khan credit and not not give him the criticism when it was due.
Yeah, because they act like age is a disease or like the guy's senile. Let's put a couple things in perspective. He was smart enough to take a plane to go see Cody to sign him up. That's what you do. That's how you do it. You do it in person. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's because that lets you know he meant business. Number two, when we were talking to Mansoor and Mansoir or whatever, Massey, they were telling us that Vince saw talent in them, just like we did, you know, and they even saw talent in what's his name, LA Knight, right? They were saying, "Wow, he's got a great look and all this," until they told him, "Oh, he's 40 years old or whatever," right? So he still had an eye for talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like a lot of rich guys that, you know, they have a lot of money and they think they can do it, whatever they want to do. You know, he got caught doing it.
That big Vince documentary series on Netflix, Meltzer just reported, is supposed to come out really soon, maybe even WrestleMania season.
They decided to go ahead and do it, huh?
Yeah, and he reported Vince himself as well, obviously, but Vince is interviewed too, which he says is the most interesting part.
Plus, the great thing is Bill Simmons is doing it, and he only does cool.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting, man.